Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with NM. I am NM and here we learn coding by building real projects together. Whether you are a beginner or leveling up your skills, you will always take something practical. Let's jump straight into today's project. So in my previous life, we have seen and created backend APIs, which is get, put, post and delete. So we have done this using Flask in Python. Today is very interesting live that we are going to create a very beautiful UI, and with that UI and with our backend we're gonna connect it and test it, because when the backend and front end merge, it's make a complete application or an app. So in today's live we will gonna create an UI, which is our first task, and in that UI, which is of course using React, and then later on we will see how we are connecting our backend to UI, and obviously from UI our API has been called, or the task, because here in backend we have created task to add a task, to update a task, to delete a task, which is working seamlessly or not. So let's start with our project. So quick recap, we have a folder named Flask. In your system it might be some different. We have an app.py, we have a temporary db which is task.json. Inside that we have created one task with an id, also its status, which is false because right now it is not done, and the title was learn Flask. Simply this was already done. We have our get call over here, then post. Below it, there is an put call with an ID, and the last but not the least is the delete one. Simple, a quick recap what up till now we have done in Flask using Python. We have created our backend. So let's move on to the UI. So what is the first thing? What is the command to create any React app? Let me jump. I think I've done two lives previously on React, so up till now you all should aware. And if you are new in this video, I will be showing what is the command. So if you're not aware, then that's fine. But if you are, then I'm waiting in the live comment section. Let quickly. Okay. Okay. It's npx create. So it's the t issue hyphen react, again hyphen app space, whatever name you want to give to your front end. For this live I'm giving it as front end only. So what does this command do? This command will create a React project which consists of a folder naming front end, because your project name is also will be your the folder name itself for the entire project. Inside it will be having all the required files, app.css, app.js, and other files including node modules. So let's hit enter and just wait for the React app to be built. Uh, One question: what is a major difference between Angular and React? Simply anyone can answer in the comment section. Only one reason I want. And any of the reason is fine. The difference between React and Angular. Meantime, it is being built. We can think on it. And don't do Google or any type of cheating using any of the chatbots or AI. It's very simple and basic. What is the difference between Angular and React? Okay, so see, there is front end folder has been created, node module has been installed, download and installed. Then packet.json, if you look inside the packet.json, the name of your project version and other things will be there, the dev dependencies and other things. Sooner or later it will be creating that. So let's wait for a few more minutes. Meantime, if you are doing it live with me, I will go slow. If you have any doubt or if you get stuck on any step, just please comment and I will be clearing that. Many of time I have seen people just haste to just they just go on my Insta and they ask their doubt there in personal. If you are not comfortable, you can do that. If you're not comfortable in live, you can ask me doubts and query in Insta. Here commenting in live you will get the response right here right away. But on Instagram, I will check that later and then respond you in your personal DMs. So done. If you see the dependencies are done here and everything is done. So let me open this and there will be one more folder source. Inside that we will have all the things app.css, app.js and extra etc. Sorry. So it is installing the template and other npm dependency. So first thing first, once it is done, we will hit npm start. That is a command to run the React projects, and we will be checking if our project, React project, is been successfully created or built or not. So now it is at happy hacking. So let's say 10 p.m. start. Okay. So this is the common issue. We need to navigate to that folder. And now just a second, cdfr. Now we inside it. Let me clear the terminal itself. And now npm start. It is starting a React project, React script. First time it will take few more seconds, but later on, once it will start the script in the server on the localhost 3000. That is the port every time React project start. In your case, it you can configure it onto the other ports also. My laptop is very old, that's why it is taking too much time. If your system is new, you're doing on a desktop or you're doing on a laptop with highly configured or new laptop simply, so it will be very fast on your system. Okay. I hope the zoom in is perfect. You can clearly see the folder structure, also the terminal and the code itself. Okay, here is the localhost 3000. starting the deployment server. It will take a few minutes, not few minutes, but yeah, at least 1 to 2 minutes more, or a few seconds also. It's totally depend on the system and what how much things are going in the background with the system. As I'm live using other softwares also to being live, that's why my system is acting slow. Okay, done. So here is your URL for the React output, but we have already opened it, so let's see. So yes, our React app is created successfully or built successfully. Let's remove everything and jump into what we are building. So before that, before jumping into any UI code for this project, let's see what we need to achieve that I haven't show you in this one. So let me also show you that first. For that, okay, I need to run my servers. Okay, and here, yeah, I'm currently just bringing up my backend code, also the UI one, which I have already done offline, just to show what we will be achieving in this live today, and how the UI will be looking, and how we are adding and doing the stuffs. So you will get a clear picture before we jump into the coding straight away. So okay, my backend is up. Just waiting for the UI to get up. Okay, it's almost done. Yeah, it automatically started the localhost 3001. See, this is what we are going to achieve today. So let's add learn React. Try to hit it. It added the React, and of course, yes, in temporary database it added also. Once our task is done, so what I have done in the UI, let's click on it. It will add a strike through. You can do other manipulation also. Instead of striking it, you can give a green tick that it is done, or thumbs up, or anything else. You can do it. That is playing around with the code, but just for the simplicity, I've done this. Means this task is done. If it is done, then you can remove it. So click on this X to remove it. And of course, yes, the real-time temporary DB, which is task.json in the backend, it is updating. So this all we will be seeing how this UI being created. Second, how we are adding it, and of course, this is not just in the UI, it is adding into our DB with the help of APIs of the backend we have created, and this learn Flask, learn Python is coming from the DB itself with the help of the APIs. That's all we are going into look into in today's life. So let me have this side by side. We will compare that are we really achieving this UI goal. Okay, coming back to the code. So let me just done. We don't need packet.json over here. Also, we don't need the app.py over here and task.json. Simple. So here is the folder structure. Let's understand it step by step. App.py, which we already created with all the APIs, done. Task.json, we have it done. In the front end, we have all the React code, our UI code lying there. Inside this, here is the source, and inside the source we have app.js. So we don't require this all. So let me quickly delete everything. Okay, so this is done. Now also the unwanted code is this. We don't require this. Apart from that, we don't require anything inside app.css. We will have our own CSS. I will be providing the CSS in the description because it is huge, and of course I will be copy pasting here from the code which I've already done in the offline. In live I can't. I will explain the logic, very basic and minimal logic, but I can't do that much of coding in the live session. Okay, so first thing first, we have an app.js, and what I am thinking here is our app.js will be the brain, or the manager. You can call it, or in for the explanation purpose, you can call it anything. The brain for our entire application. Entire application means with the backend and UI communicating, and of course the APIs things and database updating and everything, and also loading the child component, which soon I will be creating under the component inside the source. Okay, let's create the component inside the source. First thing first, components. Inside this, we will be creating two components, which is task input and task list. What they will be doing, of course, task input, we will be taking the input from the user, the task, and we have that add button on the UI. Let me switch to the UI here. See, this is the input, and of course the button add. This two we will be having inside the task input.js component file, and the list, the drop down list, we will having the clicking on that, it's updating the status, it is done or not, or clicking on the cancel button to delete it from the DB itself, and also from, of course, from the UI. So this all will be handled in the task lists. Why breaking of this? Why we yes, you can do it in the app.js, but I won't do it because I love to have a small component. If any error, we can go inside that component, fix it fast. This is what React is all about, to create a component and then call that component inside the another component of file. This is what React is all about. So it's very interesting project to create a CRUD in previous life, and then we are connecting with the live things of UI. Of course, this is live, but live in my local. If you want to deploy it, I can create another live or another offline video or anything that you all comfortable, and we can deploy this, and voila, it is live. You can use it with backend hosting, and of course the front end hosting. Live means that you're hosting your website on any of the platform which you are comfortable and aware of course. So let's jump into creating the component task input.js. So task input, js, simple, and move, and inside this I will be creating task list.js. Done. This two files has been created. Simple. So let's jump to task input.js, and we will be having a very minimalistic code over here. First thing first, import, of course, React from React, and then creating function, and the name will be same, the file name, task input. The issue with my current keyboard is the T is not working. I think the keyboard is gone. It's time to take the new one. That's why again and again I need to type the T from my actual laptop. That's it. We need to have written and then export default task input. Simple. And for here, if it is giving you error, meantime that's done. The basic structure or basic minimal or the boilerplate, you can say this is a boilerplate of this file. The same will go inside the task list.js. The naming will be different, so let's go and create that. Yes, you can copy paste also, but I suggest you all do not copy paste the code, although it is same. The thing is only the renaming of task input to task list. Why? Because if you start copy pasting it, then you won't be aware of the boilerplate itself. So if you have done multiple times, you're aware of it, you know, or you know it by heart, so you can go ahead and do this. But if not, then I suggest just type it all. Simple. Done. Again written. It will again give me error, so I will have this and export default task tsk task list. Done. And here function t. Simple. Let's save it, and this two things are done. To test it, we will copy this and have inside this, and again copy this and have inside the return. Save it, and inside the app.js we will call those two component. Simply task input, and make sure it is self closing. And second, why we are doing this, that to check our child component, and we are calling into the main component, which is a parent component app.js. Is it working or not? We are just checking it. That's why I've just a very simple minimalistic code over there. Self closing. Done. Let's save it. Go to the browser, come here, refresh it, and you can see the task. Let me just, the two components are loading perfectly, task input and task list. It is coming in a single line because we don't have any br or other logic over there. Simple. Okay, then let's start creating the input, and of course the add and the solve. So let's jump on to the code and come to the input, because that is the file responsible for to take as an input. Now let's think it. So user is adding an uh, input, any task in the input. For example, learn React, learn Flask, or learn anything. Any type of task. Eating is a task, creating anything is a task, or I want to do 50 push-ups in a day, or a biceps, or anything. It's any type of task they can add. So for that, uh, we need to take that task from the input and then pass it to the backend itself. how we going to do this is, let's see. So I don't require this whole thing. Again, let's create simple form, because now I'm sure that I want to create an input box. So if you're sure on something, just go ahead and create that thing. On submit, because it is a form, on submit we will do something while time of submit, so we will add those things later, but the things we are sure of, we can do it right away. This is how you need to code. If you're sure about something, just go ahead and create, because we are sure about the input box is required, and of course it should come inside the form, so we are creating that. Then input, and now what all things input required is type, value. If it's on change, obviously we need on change, because we need the value which user going to be uh, inputting there or adding there, and a placeholder. Simple. And of course input is a self closing tag. Type, typ type, typ type, and type should be text. T T Again the value, what will be the value will be the in our case, how I'm making sure that the value will be, this means title, because if you remember, well, time of creating the APIs, we have three things in place. The form in which our DB is storing everything. For example, let me go to the task.json. See, here is the ID, ID, title, and done. So title is the task itself, and I know the user is gonna add the task. So I can't rename that thing. You can, but you need to handle other things also. I just for myself, I don't want to confuse myself and also the program itself. So I'm keeping it title itself. In the backend, also same in the UI. So that's why the value is title. So anything being added is the title over there. On change, so on change, yes. So event handler, simple, and then set title. So we need to create the title and set title, because or else we will get the error. This is not there, that is not there, or unrecognized. Simple. So I will be creating that. Let me type from here only. E dot target dot value. Simple. So now let's create that const equals to, and its state, of course it's state, and it should be an empty string. And see, if you observe, it automatically added the state. This is because we are using VS Code. Simple. And set title. TIT should be small here, and also I think here. Done. And the last thing is the placeholder, and what should be there inside the placeholder. Enter a task. Simple. Enter a task. Dot dot dot. Done. The input has been created. One thing is, on time of submit, we should handle it. So I will be writing an event handler over there, and the name of the event handler will be handle submit, because once the user click on add the form, uh, is the button, that submit add button is a type of a submit. If that doesn't, what I've just let me create that button first. Button, and the type of the button is submit. There are multiple types of button. In my previous life, I've already uh, told you all about that, and simply add. So this add button is a type of submit, and what does submit do? It refreshes the page and submit to the form. So we need to have a handle submit. What will happen once this add button is being clicked? So that we need to have the logic above written. So const same handle submit, and of course the event, because the event will be triggered on change event, and simple uh, e dot prevent. I need have to t, let me type it from here, fult default. This is the same code I think in I have in title. Title I will return simple, and then add task title title typo set title. Mhm. I'm used to type from the keyboard, so due to set title to done. This is complete here. If there is no title, return of course empty thing. There is an add task that we need to because this will add as add task is a prop as a function which will be writing this function or method inside the app.js in the parent file. So here we need to have this add task simple, and once that is added, then make sure again that input box should be empty for the next task to be entered by the user. So simple, this is done. This our file is complete. Let's save it and see the output. See, here is enter a task add button. The task list, of course it is there. We need to have the code in the task list also. So let's move on to the task list. So this is done. It's not required. Bye bye. This is also not required. Bye bye. App.cs, it's required. Okay, let me just copy paste the css. It's huge css, by the way. Save it now. Bye bye. And task list. Let's see, the css is applied. Yes, we have our button and the color and everything, and it's almost the same. The this container and everything is missing, which will be adding in the app.js, so the UI will be exactly the same. So let's move on to task list now. Okay, so this is not required. Bye bye. And here we simply have a few things. First, map is required for looping, because each and every task inside the task.json should be displayed in the UI. So mapping is required. Of course, the mapping is required. So we will be listing all the tasks in the DB with the help of map, and of course in HTML with the help of UL list. So first thing first, we will create our UL list, which is unordered list. UL, and I will have the class name. It is the task list. This how I'm giving, because we have already done the CSS. You can go through it. Go through that file. I will give you the entire CSS in the description. So this is done. Now we need to have a map. So for mapping, we need to have task over here, and of course two things. We just don't need to, we are not only displaying the task, we will also have the delete button. Of course, when in the UI we are hitting the delete button. Let me quickly open the UI. See, this is the delete button X, and of course when I click on the learn task, its status changes. So there's two things, and of course the list itself, with two things we need to have it in the place in the task list file. So that we are passing as a props. So first is task itself, then toggle done, and the last one is delete task. Done. These three things are required here. So now let's jump and create task dot simple map, and then again to iterate we need a variable, so that variable also I'm naming it as a task simple. And again let's okay, now task.map, task having each and every task inside our DB, and this task without s, the this one inside this parenthesis, this is our variable which will be iterating through each and every task inside a DB. If there are 5 tasks, that variable will be iterating through 5 tasks itself. So now we need to list them. So first thing first, we need to create list over here, and of course if you're using map, we need to have a unique ID. So that ID will be task ID, because in DB each and every task has its own ID which is unique, of course 1 2 3 4. So now class name, and just for the decoration, and here I will task done, task done, simple. Now if task is done, question, I'm using the ternary operator. If task dot done is true, if this is true, then this done will be there, or else the empty string should be there. Now we need to display the task itself, because here we just calling the task with the ID, giving a unique key for each and every unique list items, but it won't display in the UI unless and until you call the title, which is the name of our task, which is the key and value, because our DB is in a form of key and value. This is the key and this is the value. So the key is title itself. So we need to have task.title inside our li. So for that, uh, let me okay, let me just first have that task.title. Now with the help of line number 10, it will display each and every task. Now the toggle thing, so that should be inside our span. Why we require the span? Because when the user click on the task title, the toggle done status we will be manipulating there. So that's why I have a span over here, because you can't directly have that logic on the task.title itself. So that will be done on the span. So on click, so what will happen on the click, we will be calling the toggle, just a second. Okay, toggle done. And here it's required two things. First, the task ID, on which task we are doing this, on which task we are changing or updating the status of it. So first thing is task ID. T is pain in header now, and the status itself, because we need to manipulate or update the status. Done. Simple. Let me just scroll a bit here. It's visible. Then on click, we are updating the done status with the help of the ID, of course, because each and every ID has a each and every task has a unique ID. So this is done, and the last thing is, which is the delete button, and it should come inside the li itself, because each and every task has its own delete button. That's why it is inside the li button. And on click here, uh, we will be calling delete task simple, and it only, or it should have one parameter only, which is task ID. For deleting, we should have only one ID, task ID, simple. And let's, it automatically closes. Delete, we not require this. Inside this you can have anything, but I have the icon, so I will be copy and pasting those icon, and I will be pinging these icons in the chat, so you you all can also use it in your projects. Simple. The task list is also done. Let me zoom out a bit so the entire code is visible. I hope this is visible. Let me cross check it quickly. Hello, sir. Hello, Karthik. How are you? Okay. I hope this screen, I'll zoom out a bit for you all to see the complete code itself as visible. Yeah, I think it is visible. Yeah, it is visible. Just cross check in my OBS. Okay, let's see the output. Okay, where are undefined reading map cannot read property. Okay, okay, blah, blah. This will be solving this, because it's trying to read some properties which not been created yet, that we need to create in app.js. So let's go to app.js and start creating everything. So if meantime I just take a break, and if any doubt you can ask me right away, or else app.js code is big, and there is actual logic of connecting the backend to UI, and of course this delete task and toggle done, this all function or method you can call, this all logic will be residing in app.js. That is the manager or the brain or the parent component for our complete applications to connect the backend and UI itself. So I will be taking 2 minutes or 5 minutes break, and for you all to recap everything, and in any doubt you can just comment in the chat. I will be replying to it. Okay, uh, I'm back and let's start with app.js. Oh, that break was very quick. I thought so. Okay, app.js. Simple, and let's get started because here is the main magic is going to happen for me in programming world, or in the world where maths is there, mathematics is there, programming is there, coding is there. There is nothing logic. Sorry, it's there nothing magic. It's everything logic. So here it's also, of course, the logic itself to connect the backend and to the front end, and of course, bringing all together the application. Bringing, we are creating an application, and here this is the key file to make it happen. Okay, so okay, this all is not required. So let's change it to first thing first, container. Done. Let's save it, and then I need h1. Here we will be writing a task manager, and of course the T. I think this is a patent issue in my keyboard. I think in every live I have this T issue. Again, in task input, let's check. We need, okay, at task we are passing as a prop. We need to pass it here at task. Inside this we will be passing at task itself. Done. This is done, and here I think we need to pass three things. First thing is task, and yes, and of course we need to create those tasks and all the props and variables over here also. It's all the function like this, the toggle one, and the last thing was delete task, delete, and here same. This add task, toggle done, and delete task. This all we need to create it over here, or else it will give us an error. But the basic thing, the basic HTML part of this React app.js is done. Now it's just a simple logic we need to have in place. So let's start with creating that. We already know add task is required, task is required, so let's create those const and box bracket, of course, task here, uh, and task simple, then equals to use state. Again it should be empty string. This is done. Now uh, for you all, as in normal days I don't write comments in my code, because you should always code in such way that is it is a self-explanatory thing. So but for live purpose I am just writing the comments over here, that what we are going to do next. So task from Flask. This we need to do it. Load task from Flask means from our backend API we need to load everything. That needs to be done. Then the second thing is add a new task, means the obvious post call, and then toggle one, of course. So I think the toggle one means we will calling the put call over here. So toggle toggle task. I think I need to have a new keyword. This is frustrating. I need to type T from the laptop, and then the rest of the code from this. And the last one is the delete one, of course, means uh, we can name it as delete task. This all we need to have in the place this all things. The load task from Flask, add new task. The load means the get call, add new means the post call, task done means to update the status means put call, and of course the delete is a delete call. The four API calls which we have already been created in Flask using Python. Here we need to call them. How we will call the APIs here? That is the first thing. So we need to have one library to call the APIs. You can directly call it. Uh, there is many libraries out there of JS, but in this video I will be using Axios. So let's first we need to install that dependency or a library in our project. So for that we need to terminate our React application and npm install Axios, Axios. Simply enter. And once it is installed, you can see here in packet.json. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, it is done. It is done, and you can see on the line number 10 the Axios with its version it's been added in the package.json. This is how you can confirm. Of course it shows it's been successfully installed and everything, but come here and cross check if you want. So this is how we cross check in the dependencies in packet.json. Done. Now let's start with our first thing. Okay, so to load tasks we need to first have one const. It's the same name what we have already used in Python in Flask. So load task, and this will be a asynchronous call. Now what is synchronous, what is asynchronous? For this I will be creating different detailed videos, because here to explain it, it will be very much time consuming. When to use synchronous call, when not to use, and when to use asynchronous call and when not to use. Simple. There are much more deeper concept inside that, so that's why I'm not explaining in this live video, because here in this live video we have a specific goal to create an UI and to connect it to the backend, and let's see from the UI we are able to manipulate the database, the DB, with the help of APIs or not. Simple. So const response equals to await API. Okay, so now there are two things. There is a base uh, there is a domain, there is an URL of your there is a complete URL, and there is a in the URL is consist of several things. First is the domain and second is the endpoint. So here we can directly have the complete endpoints, or else we can create one new file. So I will be directly creating that new file inside the source itself. If you don't want, you can go with I will be showing both the ways how to do it. So which is be easiest or fitting for you, you can do that. As simple as that. So let me create that api.js. Simple. It is again the JS file. Inside this api.js we need to import, of course, Axios from Axios. Very simple. And here I just export default default Axios dot create. Simple double is typo. Sorry for my typo, but can't help with that. Base URL, and this is here I'm adding the base URL http. Since my this in my external keyword T is not working fine, now I know the importance of T. So it's 0.0.1 colon 5000. From where I got this, again you go to your Python Flask API. When you run it, you will get this base URL http 127.0.0.1:5000. Simple. We are exporting this. Let's save it. We need to import that file in our app.js. So let's import it over here. Import. Let me do it at the end. Import simply API from, because there we have exported it, the uh, it is by default export with the file name itself. So I'm directly importing it from that file ./API. Simple. So the import is done. Now let's use it. Await API dot get, and inside this we just need to pass the endpoint of get, which is task itself. Done. As simple as that. Or else, if you don't want to create that API.js, you need to have the complete thing. That's the complete thing will be something like this. Let me just copy from here and paste it. And instead of this API, you will have this axios.get and the complete thing. What is the complete thing? Which is base URL plus this. It's both. The below one, the above one is the same, just I have created another file for the base URL and just shortening my code. Simple. Or else you can go with the line number 15. And but again, if you doing it for the post put, why need to do it again and again? We can make it as simple as that, because in code, if anything is repeating, just create a function, create a component, create another file, export it from there, import over here, and use it. This is the power of coding itself. So instead of this, I'm writing this. The of course the HTTPS and up till 5000, it is coming from here, api.js file. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Let me just comment this one. We will have this here for the reference purpose. As simple as that. Okay, let's now move on to the further code. Okay, let's okay. What okay, here we are calling the API. Calling the API and everything. This, if you hit the API, you will get what? Response. So the response will be stored in is this res, which is again the response. I have just using the short thing. You can type response for your in your code if you are not getting confused with res. Why I'm using res and extra xyz. So res dot data semicolon. Simple. As setting the task means updating. And if you want to check if RE has a data or not, just do a console dot log and just have the same thing just for the confirmation. This is for the confirmation. You can do it in your system. I just don't want to check because I am pretty sure it will come, but don't be that much sure. Overconfidence or confidence in coding uh, is a bad thing. You just check. You can do a console.log and you can check it if it's coming or not. Done. Now let's do a catch. Try and catch block. We should always have a try and catch block when you are calling the APIs. You should always call it inside the try and catch block. It's because if anything went not as planned, you can have the console dot error in place, and you can display an error as load task error. Simple colon comma and err. Simple. This all error and everything is coming from uh, backend. Every error, every response, status code, everything we have already done in the Flask inside the Python. That's all we are just loading here. Simple, as simple as that. Let me switch to the comment section if any other doubt. I was planning to learn Python from and this is my first language. It's a good decision in if yes, when can I practice it? Python and where good or better suggestion. Okay, so if okay. First of all, yeah, best of luck, and it's very good decision to start learning Python because Python is very simple and easiest programming to start with. And the second thing is, if yes, why can I practice? So if you're you are starting the Python, you are on a beginner level, start with W3 school. I suggest you start learning Python with W3 schools. Also, once you have a very good hold on the Python, I have multiple videos created n numbers of projects in Python. You can go through my Python playlist. Mm, I hope this answer your question, Shade. So the first thing is good, you're learning Python, starting with Python, and the second thing is yeah, start with W3 School, which is the best website for the beginners to learn anything. And this is for everyone out there, chat. And once you are done, I think I once you have aware of the Python a bit, then you can go. There is a platform known as HackerRank. Here you can go and see all my videos on Python and solutions and get a certificate over Python. So let's
Hello everyone, welcome back to Code with.
see. I have each and every if else and other the simple concept which is required in Python. I've on the of course on the HackerRank I've done that. You can go through it once you have done the basic very minimalistic Python and aware of the syntax and everything inside the Python, learning from the W3 school. As simple as that. Okay. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, Shade, and thanks for watching. Uh, Happy learning and happy coding, and hope after 1 month you will come again in the live session and you just say, "Voila, I've learned Python and I'm now good at it." Of course, and it's the second question for you, Shade, is after learning Python, what is your plan to go into data engineering or data scientist or something, or you're just learning Python for the backend thing? I'm just curious to know, and from which field you are coming. Thank you so much, Shade. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. Let's move on to add new task. So we have done with the get call and everything will be loaded inside this response variable. Now let's move on to the add task. So same again here we need to create an const. Everything is we do on a variable, and here the const name will be add task. Simple. Again it will be a asynchronous call. So async, the code will be the same. Once you are aware of the basic coding, majority time it's just a copy paste. Here I'm not doing copy paste because I don't like copy paste, because copy pasting doesn't help you in coding. Awaits. So again, this you can use it, or else await. I can do API dot post simple the endpoint of our post call. How I'm sure about the endpoints? Of course, we are the one who have created it, but if you are not sure, so we are inside that project itself. Go to app.py inside that, and here just come to your post call and see what is the endpoint you have created. Simple as that. It's nothing magic. It's just you can go through and check and done. But in post call, what is required? What is required here? So comma, what is required? The main thing is required is title itself, which is our task. So that is required. Of course, every time the new task is created, we have one golden rule that the time of task created is, of course, the task is not done. That's why it is a new task created. So it is not done at that time. So this is we need to have it, and of course we need to have title as a parameter over here. Done. So here it's we need to remove the excuse. Done. So this was a simple, very simple 4 to 5 line of logic to add a task, and also we need to call the load task over here. Simple. After adding it, we need to see that newly added task should be load there or not in our DB, and then it should load in into the UI. For example, like we have two tasks, learn Flask, learn Python, and if I am hitting this API or we are hitting that add button from the UI, it should add the task in our current list. It should update our current list. That's why we need to call the newly added task inside the list, and again, okay, yeah, good thing you're going to the cloud security shade, which is very, I think in upcoming days we need cloud security because everything is now cloud and coming to the world of AI and ML. So security is must, and of course everything in AI and ML is on cloud. So that is I have one of my juniors also in the same field, cloud security and the cyber security, working in an ML and AI domain. So it's very interesting field, and of course, yeah, to go into that field, the Python is first thing you are the basic requirement to go into the field, to enroll into that field. So yeah, best of luck for you for the Python and cloud security, and thank you so much for watching me live. Okay. Toggle task done. Next, we need to call the put call. So put is means the updating the done status. If the task is done, we will update the done status from false to true. So let's quickly create this all, and the name, I don't want to get confused. That's why I'm keeping it as simple as that. The same name, same or string. And for the done status, we need two things. Again, the first thing is the ID, and the second thing is the status itself, which is done. So ID comma, this is what I hate about VS. I don't want that. Then too, he's without hitting anything, is just auto, not just suggesting, it's just typing the code itself. Done. So two thing is required. ID, why ID is required? Because each and every task has a specific ID, and on which task ID we want to update that task status. Simple. Await the same code, API dot put, and here simple, we need to have, okay, let me have the task with its ID. So task slash ID. Simple. But here ID will be passed as string, and that API won't work itself because that ID in our backend is required in the form of integer. So here we will do some simple tricks and wrap it inside back backtick. So backtick, where it is the backtick in your keyboard, is about the tab button. Above the tab button, you can see the backtick. So don't go and search in a keyboard where is that sign I'm using here. And then simple logic done, not done. I'm updating. Why done and that colon, that's exclamation in terms of coding, it means not done. means if it is false, if initial value is false, make it not is gate. It's simply physics, it's gate. Not done means if it is false, make it true. If it is true, make it false. As simple as that. And I can't explain it in more detail because this is the what simple logic means. And after updating, of course, we need to load task and show it on the screen. Sorry, it should be semicolon. Done. And the last thing is to delete one. So const again the delete task equals to, this should be a string. Yes, a string means asynchronous call. And what we required over here is the id to delete it. Done. Again the await api dot delete and simple backtick because the id also, here we required the id and also it is in a, it should goes as an integer format. And again that trick, what is that trick is just simply wrapping inside the json. It's a basic json thing, nothing else. We don't want to do anything inside it, simply delete it, and after deleting it just load our task over here. Done. Done. Everything is done. Now just one simple thing is use effect. Why I'm doing it, I will explain you later on. Why use effect is required. If you all know, you just can comment why I'm using use effect in this code. Load task, simple, and after this an empty array. Done. Our logic is complete. If there will be any issue or error, we will be solving that. So here this is not required. I have imported it because it's by default import because we have used this XCOs. So let's remove the unwanted code in this file. Let's save it, go to the output, and let's fix if there any issue. So I can't see any output over here. Let's go to the console. Okay, there are many other issues like WebSocket, connection to localhost 3000, and why this is coming because in backend we have not, our backend is not up and running. So let's go to the project and let's have the new terminal in place. In this terminal Flask, we make sure we are inside the Flask, and here let's bring up our backend. To bring up our backend, of course Python and the file name. So it is up and running now. Let's go back to here, refresh it, also the clear the console. Okay, let me I just one thing also, I've just stopped the server of UI because we were installing the Axios. So let me do the npm start 2. So now our backend is running, our front end is also coming up in few seconds. It's fast now. Okay, let's close this, and you can see on localhost 3000. I will zoom it up for you. Just a second, let it load. Meantime, let's check the comment section. Okay. Okay, so now we got an error of task.map is not a function. So now n numbers of error if there, we will fix it one by one by one. So now task.map is not a function, means it says that we have used task.map somewhere in the code and it says it's not a function. So let's go to our code, and I think we have used it inside here. inside the task list, and it says it's not a function. So why it is not a function? Let's slowly. Okay, let me just also have this neat and clean. I love to write neat and clean codes, not messed up codes. It's easy to debug also. So okay, here is a task dot map task. So simple. First thing first, what it is. Let me just also, it's unwanted line. Now it is okay. So this task is coming from our app.js, and we are using map to iterate everything, and task means something is wrong with this. But if is it this file which is giving that error, or it's app.js task, this task, because we are passing this task only. So why it says n, it is a not an function. There is two things: either we are using the map in a wrong way, or else this task is not in list or array itself. It's, if it is not an array and we are trying to map it, means we are trying to loop it, it will give this error. So at a time, is this task is holding an array or not? In Python, we have created that list itself, and we have converted it into the JSON format, and then we are passing it as a response to UI over here. So means we need to make sure that this set data is setting the data in our task. If this is not happening, then the error is right over there. So I think that is not happening. To check it, we need to just check in check it into the console log itself. But I think this is all this. Inspect console. See, now it shows an error occurred in the task list component, and I can do projects without an error. I'm purposely doing all the projects with error, because for you all to learn it, I just want to make sure that if you are facing this type of error, how to identify that this is an actual error and how to fix it. So okay, from here I'm not getting any idea. I've gone to the code base, I'm not getting any idea. So okay, I open the console and I'm trying to see it. In short, I've got the right idea that the task itself is not an array. So I need to check where I've created the task. So here I've created the task, and at the time of initiating it, use state is the time of initiating that task. So what I've done is I've created is an empty string, but it should be created as an empty array. Now it is an array. Let's save it and let's check if the error is still same or not. So let's come over here, and the error is gone, and you can see the console log. We have two tasks. As simple as that. You got it? Oh, one thing is missing. See here, this rocket, and here I've missed those rockets. So sorry, missed that rocket. So let me just copy that, come to the code, scroll down, have those space. Let's go to the output. Voila, done. I just want to. Okay. Now the second thing, why our task is not being listed? Why our task, for example, like this way, learn Flask, learn Python, is not being listed over here? Let's inspect, and that is an API call. So first go to the network, let's refresh this. Let's see the API call is being made or not. So this is the API call, localhost 3000. The request method is get. Let's go to the preview. You need to enable JavaScript to run this. Okay. And so there is one error over here, is that error is strict origin when cross origin, means it is a CORS issue, CORS issue. So we need to have CORS in our UI also to handle it, and in the backend also. So what is CORS? Cross-site origin. What is this? Uh, I will be creating another video, because this is a very huge topic, and of course for shade, this course is an security thing. So you also get into this. In the web world, we need to have cross-site origin, because there are cross-sites XSS attacks. in the world of web, and there are multiple types of attack, but the simple one, the basic one I have told you. So how to fix this? So we need to fix from both the end. We need to enable the cores in our backend in Python, and of course in UI also we need to handle it. So first we will go to our backend and then handle the cross origin policy, and then we will handle it in the UI. Simple. So let's go to our code base, and here is our Python. We need to stop our server, and the server is stopped. And let me just quickly uh, install one library. So it should be pip install flask hyphen curs cross origin policies and enter. Don't show it again. Let's wait. Once this module in Python, it is known as module, is been installed over here. Once that is done, we will move on to, and of course we need to import it and do some code based changes. Okay, it says I have already have. Of course I've already have it because I've already done the complete project offline. So let me import, and is known as flask underscore cors import. Okay, it should be from flask underscore core to import cors, and here it will be from. Simple. This is done. Now where we need to handle it in, because this project we are doing it in our local dev environment, means local development, we are testing it in our local. So we will pass everything means we will pass entire application. It means any API call we can pass through it. Course means we are indirectly we are saying each and every API is safe, each and everything inside this application is safe. Go ahead and allow it. For your purpose, I will add allow all origins, and this is only for okay for local development, local dev. Simple. This comment I've added for you all. Now let's save it, and there's nothing other changes required. That's all we need to add this all. If you're going live with this website, you're hosting on some XYZ platform, then we need to set up proper course origin policies. But for time being, I'm just showing you that's allow everything. And let's again make sure to up and running our backend code. Then now let's jump on to our app.js, and here we need to simply I will just, of course the course policy is always for the backend thing. Sometimes we need to handle it from the UI. So right now, just to show you all, I will be handling it in the error thing. It will, I will be handling it as error in alert. So something should be therein could not load task. Simply check backend or CORS, because something should be there. So for as an alert to uh, for the end user or the developer on the UI, it should any alert message or error that's why I've just written this. Okay. Okay, now let's go to our UI, refresh it. Again the same. Okay. Okay, I didn't change that. I've changed this done. Let's refresh it. Terminate, bro. Got you. That instance get. We will need. Okay, let me go to the live session. Okay, anything in the comment? I'm just going through the comment. Just bear with me. Okay. So now there is nothing as an output. Inspect it. Go to the console. Okay, here we get an object because we have already console.log it. And inside here it says task. Inside that task here array. Again, this is the error from the backend, because why it is an issue from the backend? Here we are directly loading the data in the res, a response variable, and what our UI is expecting from the backend is an array, direct array. But here what we have done, here if you see line number 25, we have we have just returning as an task also inside an curly braces. So let's remove that, save it here. Now if we go here and refresh this, okay, see, now we are directly getting the data. Okay, now let's inspect console array. We are getting an array network call. Let's refresh for the network call. You see now everything is working, and here is the task get call preview. If you see the preview of the task here also, so everything is working fine. Now the second issue was why it is not coming inside this container. Our task is why it is not listing inside the container. Let's go to the code and let's fix this. So task.list, here was our task dot title. It should be listing the task over here. Okay. Let me quickly. Ah, okay. Toggle done delete task. Okay, so up till now the error we have faced and we have solved, I think it is all clear to you all. If not, you can just comment down and I will be redoing those error and solving it, because the live session is not about just creating the project. It's just the main thing and the main purpose for it. Just we will face errors and we will fix those error in the live session. That's how you will become the bestest coder out there. If you don't face any error, make sure you create an error and then you fix it, or else you won't be a you will be a developer, but you won't be that great developer, because of course fixing an error is it's all about the software engineering. Majority of time in jobs also I have just fixed the error. Of course the features I've done, the created new stuffs, that was great, and have researched the many technology, worked on ML and everything. uh, Sometimes on AI I've done projects on AI, but yes, fixing the issues, the customer issues and everything was the major thing, or the part of the job as a software developer or software engineering. So you need to know how to fix an errors. First thing, that is the first thing you need to learn. So again, now the list. So here this is the line where we are calling the task list, and here is our task list component itself. And this is the line number 9 is a responsible for each and every task we are mapping it. It should display in our UI. So we need to check two things. First, this file itself, of course, from this map up till the li, everything inside the li we need to check it. And again from here we are passing the task, this we need to check it. Simple. And again here your task is we converted into the from string to an array. So we need to check this two things only to make sure why our task is not loading. And if you have any doubt that UI uh, your API is working or not, so simply just copy this, go to the browser, just slash tasks and hit enter. Voila, you will see your API is working. So there is no issue with the backend. There is no issue with the API of get call itself. It's the only issue with some React props and everything. This all are the tips and tricks you can use to fix the issues you are facing. Simple. So here is the task list, and we have passed task. Okay, this is good. Let me cross check. Okay, task is task done. This is done. Then toggle done. Done, everything is done. The toggle is not required to check, but okay. So the error is with this task itself. Let's see. It's if you click on if you place your mouse over it, it will show some suggestion that what is the form and everything. So cons task, and in bracket it says never an empty thing. Okay. And also one thing, let me cross check here. Are we loading the task? Yes, we are loading it. Okay. First email wait API in task. This is done. The task console. Then this console now not required because we have already seen in console it is working as fine. So set task. This is fine. We are setting the task also. Okay, done. This is done. The use effect also is loading the task, which is this is very much important. Why it is important, I will explain it to you all later. Okay, and if you see it's automatically imported it also. Okay, so now first let's add one task and see if that is also appearing or not. Learn. We are learning React right now, so add React. Now let's go to the DB and check if it is added or not, because here I think the call, see there is no error. The call also, let me learn node, or next we will be learning MongoDB. Add, see headers, status code okay, method optional, task preview, everything. So this is going the task. This is the post call 201 created, everything is working fine. And then again this task get call is, and in the response you see all the three tasks. Means in the API it's working fine, but it is not rendering in our UI itself. So the issue with, okay, how to, I can see hearts are flying in the chat. Thank you, the people who are watching, and I hope you are learning something out of this live. And thanks for the hearts and everything. And you're liking the live session. Thank you for that. Okay, let's quickly fix this and then move on. Because once that list will appear, then then only we will able to check the toggle done and delete. So first thing first, add task, shrink title API post. This is a catch an error. Okay, just going through the live comment. Again, space should be there. I don't love this way of coding. The semicolons. Okay, here is also okay. In React, if you miss out the semicolon, it won't give you any type of error, because by default in behind the scene it adds a semicolon. But if you have practiced or having a habit of add the semicolon at the end, you can add it straight away. As simple as that. Okay, let's go to the task list. Okay, task map and task key class name. It is done or it is emptied. On click toggle, so I think is class name task done, or else this is class name key, this is class done, task id, task done. Once it is done, button. Okay, I think this is not loading. Support default. So sometimes if you are stuck with the errors and you already fix it, you just make sure you just kill the terminal, because VS Code has a temporary memory which stores the last error. And if you already fixed it and you will be stuck on the same issue, why it is not appearing in the UI, I've already fixed it, what changes I need to do more. It's nothing like that. Sometimes VS Code stucks on this. I have in my live class in session, not on YouTube, and other organization like classes and colleges, everything I faced, and also my learners have faced this type of issue. So we need to kill the terminal itself, and we then have a new terminal. Cd front end, and then do npm start, because I can't see any error. If any, I will fix it, of course, but right now I've gone through each and every line of code and I can't see any error. On click, C is capital, of course, task ID, task done, task dot title, done, and then said someone at my door. Just give me 2 minutes, I will be back. I think it's give me 2 minutes. Yeah, sorry for that. Was someone on my door? Where were we? Okay. Okay, we were looking into the issues. I can't find anything as such in the variables. So let's check other things. Might there will be any angular braces or curly braces or parenthesis issues. First, let's take in the app.js. I can't see over here. Try, we have properly closed the try and catch, and then again this. We are only checking the load task because our load, the get call itself, get call is working, so I don't think any error and any issue in app.js. The only issue and error I think here is task dot so let's check one by one. Written, I've closed it. UL, I've closed it. Task, I've closed this. Okay, this parenthesis. Oh, this is the issue. It should not be the curly braces, it will be parenthesis. Typo. Let's see now. And voila. Everything is now loading. Now uh, let's open the our temporary database. So I will be changing the status of the MongoDB from false to true, and then we will be deleting from UI, and let's see our database gets updated or not. So let's move on to UI. Let's click on, if it is done, I've learned already the MongoDB, so I will click on this. So strike through means the status has already been changed. Let's go to the DB and check, and yes, of course, voila, it's magic. Done. Status has been true. The rest is everything is false. Let's go and change the status of this React, and let's delete this MongoDB one. So we'll be going back to the browser, and I've learned React, so I've clicked on this, and now I've already learned MongoDB, so I don't want this into my task list. So I will just click on this delete button, and that is gone. And of course, in our DB, the ID3 means the learn DB should be missing, should not be there. And of course, the status of this learn React should be false to true. Let's check it and go to the DB. Yes, the third one is missing, and the run status of uh, React is true. Let's add one more and let's check the DB is been updated because we need to create one task. So I will be again, let's add MongoDB itself. Click on add, and voila, it's been added. Let's again click on the learn React. I just missed out one concept in the React, so of course, yeah, I will be coming and updating its status here. So I've clicked it over here, and let's go to the DB and see the third one is already added. The status of the React is changed. So all this is done. This is a very beginner level, but not that much beginner level. It's intermediate, somewhat beginner, somewhat intermediate. The complete application using Flask in Python created. We have created backend, and again we have front end place using React for UI. Then we merge it. We created a full-fledged application in our local development, and we have seen our temporary database is lively updating. If you want, I will be doing third video. If you all comment in this video that we don't want this temporary DB, we want MongoDB, and then we will creating a complete application using MongoDB, Flask using Python. Sorry, Flask using Python, and then the third one is the React, of course. So we have done the two part. We already covered the two part. We have done we have created the backend. We have created the UI. The only part remaining is the MongoDB. If you all comment in this video, then I will be going with uh, the MongoDB one. So temporary database will be replaced with the MongoDB, and then of course the full application will be complete. The application which the big companies, the Mang, the Fang companies create. This is how everything works. Now, if you want the coding explanation, I think I've explained you each and everything why we are using how is this, how that. If I missed out any of the point, please comment down to clarify, or else you can ask in the next live, or you can DM me on the Instagram. Of course, one thing, let me just quickly show you that. So I've enabled the community for you all. See, this is if you visit to CodeWithNM, I have enabled the community itself. You can visit the community of CodeWithNM and you can post your ideas, your project, or what else you want to learn in the next live or into the next live session. You can also post an update and everything. I've just you can just come and publish over here that I have done this, I want to showcase this and everything. Okay, the community is open for you all, and I think there is one guy who wants to learn the chat application like WhatsApp or Facebook, or like we do DMs in Instagram. So he wants to learn how to create that chat application, and for him, let me just quickly open that where he posted. Uh, just a second. It should be there in my community. Okay, yeah. And viewers post. See. So this is the guy named Praveen, and uh, could you please teach us how to create a chatbot with an AI? So this is the community. You can come and post everything and each and every doubt, or you want to do some new projects. You can, in 20th of September, he has just committed. And of course, for Praveen, this is my message or update from my side. Yes, I've already created a chatbot with AI, and not just the chatbot. I've created the entire chatting applications with the backend, with the front end, and everything. And you can chat among yourself if you want that also, like WhatsApp. I can create that, but right now I've created a chatbot. You can ask anything to the chatbot and you can get a reply. It's simply just like the Gemini or Chat GPT you are seeing out there. So, but that is a very it will be learning in running in the local. But yes, I have already created it, and soon enough I will be creating a live video or else an offline video on this. So Praveen, soon I will be replying you and pinging the link of that video that I have created, and you can follow that, and you can also create your own chatbot with AI. And yes, I'm master in ML and AI, so my forte is not just a full stack cloud development, but my forte is also to create a machine learning and AI in real time. And I have patents on my names based on the on for many projects I have done, many theses I have written in ML and AI. Soon enough, I will be sharing those once I will be reaching 1,000 subscriber on Code with NM. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and give it a like. And if you have any doubt, you comment there. So I will be sharing my all the ML and AI based projects to you all. So that's it for today's life. Keep coding, keep building, keep pushing limits. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More projects coming soon. This is NM signing off. Till then, bye.